What's up everybody, 9th Jim here, back with another VGC 2020 Pokemon Sword and Shield competitive video with singles spotlight at the end. So if you play singles, you're in for a good video as well. Anyway, what we're doing today is talking about Drednaw, water rock type Pokemon from the newest generation. Pretty solid overall, good typing, has a couple of weaknesses, one quad type weakness. Not too bad. Resistances to normal, fire, ice, poison, flying. Pretty solid resistances. This Pokemon has not bad bulk as well, so you can pretty safely switch this in a lot of the time, which is pretty cool. Although be careful of your weaknesses, electric, fighting, and ground, and your quad weakness, grass. All of those are pretty bad and pretty big in the format. And then into stats, we have speed 74, which is pretty good. But with max investment and Swift Swim, it gets amazing. There's only a few things that outspeed us. Unfortunately, all of those have super effective spread against us, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Special defense 68, defense 90. Special defense could be more. Defense 90 is pretty average, it's pretty good, and then HP at 90 is pretty good as well. You can take some physical attacks to the face pretty easily, especially in Dynamax form, which we're gonna Dynamax this Pokemon a lot of the time. It's very similar in the fact of like Barraskewda, where you set rain, and then this Pokemon is just a huge threat. It's super fast, and you Dynamax it, it gets its Life Orb boost when it's Dynamaxed. You don't use a choice item, and then you also just do insane damage, even non-Dynamax that can do a lot of damage. And we have some damage calcs showing how much you can deal, how much you can take. Some things kill you. We talk about it all in this video. It's the one-stop shop for the Drednaw. Anyway, attack 115 is really good. All of our attacks are physical attacks with Life Orb boost. We're doing a good bit of damage, and then we also have special attack at 48. Not to mention, with rain, we get a boost of our liquidation or max geyser, so that's really interesting as well. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the build now at about 2 minutes in. So ability Swift Swim, double our speed when it's rainy. That's really good. It's always gonna be a great ability on just about any Pokemon in the game. If you have that, you're like, whoa, that's a good Pokemon. It's playable, at least. Like it's viable to see meta play because it's just double speed. Anything that doubles your speed is like really good. Item Life Orb, we just want to have that a good boost even when we're Dynamaxed. You could use something like the belt, expert belt, if you wanted to. We also have access to, or we also have Rindo Berry that you could use, which is really solid because it covers our quad weakness, making it only a regular weakness, which is still a lot of damage. However, it is definitely a thought, because with it you would live a lot of things like Power Whip from Gyarados and certain Ludicolo attacks. The Max Overgrowth or Giga Drain you'd live. So it's definitely a thought. However, I like Life Orb a lot. It lets us hit certain numbers, and it's just huge. This Pokemon really is just huge. Into our moves, we have Liquidation and Rock Slide for our stab moves of choice. I like both of these moves a lot. Rock Slide is really good. It hits both enemies and flinches. Liquidation is just 85 power, pretty solid. It has a chance to lower the defense of the targeted Pokemon, which is pretty good. You could also use Waterfall if you wanted to. It's 5 less base power, but it does give you that chance to flinch, which is pretty good, and arguably better than a defense drop, and probably better than defense drop. But that plus Rock Slide, you have like a lot of flinch chances running around, which is pretty good. For our last attacking move on this set, we have Superpower. I just like that spread a lot. I think it's good. Superpower is really good. Max Knuckle is fine. It could be better. We have a lot of other moves you could use here. Something like High Horsepower or Earthquake is really good. A ground type is really good. It covers some of your weaknesses. It covers the fighting weakness and electric, so that's pretty good. And then Superpower also covers, and not really. So I just like Superpower. I think it's good on this mon, but you could definitely switch it out into any of those. Then we also have Jaw Lock, which is like essentially Crunch, but instead of potentially flinching, you have they can't switch out. So it's a pretty interesting attack. Jaw Lock making them just trapped, which is pretty good. And then we also have Poison Jab, which gives you that grass coverage, which is pretty good as well. And you could opt to put that in instead of Superpower, or Protect if you don't want Protect on the set. I just like Protect on this set since it's so frail to certain things. You can patch up those weaknesses with the rest of your team. You could Protect and then put yourself into a really good position by killing them. The other mon. Having access to Max Guard is also very good when you Dynamax, in my opinion. Into our stats, we have 4 into HP. It's like whatever. 252 into attack and 252 into speed. Pretty basic, I know, but we're fast. We're swift swim, adamant nature. I have some speed tiers. The increase from adamant to jolly only covers Ludicolo, and it's only Ludicolo if it's bred to be fast. And a lot of times it's going to be modest nature, since the only things it's outspeeding is like the different Drednaw. So a lot of the time, like, you see swift swim Pokemon boosting nature to their attack or special attack, just because the difference is pretty marginal, and a lot of the time it only outspeeds like one niche thing that you probably won't even see in an event or even on ranked. So that's why we have it adamant nature, just for that reason. Anyway, that's about it for the build. We'll talk about some synergetic Pokemon and some and some Pokemon that are good against us. So first off, we have Pelipper. This is a no-brainer. It sets rain for us. It sets rain when it's switched in or just brought in general. So you lead a lot of the time. If you have Drednaw Pelipper on your team, that's a pretty common lead for your team, since you set rain with your weather, with your Pelipper's ability, and then Drednaw just takes full advantage. My voice is gone. Drednaw takes full advantage of the Pelipper, which is very good. And then we also have Ludicolo as another synergetic partner. This is a little bit overkill. 2 swift swimmers on the same team could be too much. It might not be, since they both have different coverage. You have grass coverage. You have I don't remember. You have fake out as well. You have a lot of other coverage, like, across the board. And 2 swift swimmers is pretty good, especially if they like target down Pelipper, which they probably won't. They'll probably target down Drednaw, as its actual threatening Pokemon. But Pelipper also can set Tailwind, which is really good, because if your opponent's Whimsicott sets Tailwind and gets faster than you, well, that could be a problem. So setting your own Tailwind is pretty solid as well. Then we also have Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn covers a lot of weaknesses. It also, since we have Rain active, it'll weaken fire-type damage, making Ferrothorn kind of Wally, even more Wally than before. The guy from Gen 3 Wally. It becomes just super tanky, and it's really good. It covers its quad weakness, making it only a regular weakness, which is really, really sweet. Talking about that, it's also the same for Corviknight. Just Pokemon that benefit from the rain indirectly, and it's very, very good. My voice sounds so weak right now. I'm still got that thing. Togekiss is another Pokemon that we have in synergetic Pokemon. Since it covers your grass weakness with Air Slash, and it could also be a very good Dynamax target weakness policy. Max Air Stream, making your Pokemon really, really fast and strong, is another good option as well. It also has Follow Me, which is interesting. Like, Follow Me is just always very good. Redirection of this game is just astonishing, and it's a good cover Pokemon. We also have, as far as Pokemon that have a good matchup against Drednaw, with Hawlucha. With Unburden, it gets really fast with weakness policy. If you use the weakness policy Sylveon tactic, and it's adamant, it will usually knock you out and OHKO you, and it outspeeds you, so it's a problem. Hawlucha is definitely a problem for Drednaw. However, you won't see it very frequently. You also have Ludicolo having grass type coverage, which is quad effective to us, which is really annoying. Same with the Gyarados. It has Power Whip, Max Overgrowth if it maxes, which can either OHKO us or do a lot of damage. We have Damage Calcs. And Energy Ball from Whimsicott does a lot of damage, as well as setting Tailwind, making our Swift Swim not as swift, and that's a problem as well. So anyway, that's it for our first slide. We're going to talk about some speed tiers now. So as far as speed tiers go, we're really fast. We're up here with some of the greats. So first off, we're at 252 with our nature. Since we chose Adamant, so this is how it goes, right? So we're at 252 since we chose Adamant. If we chose Jolly, we would be at 276. And then Ludicolo is at 268 if it chooses to be Timid Nature. Most are modest. Like, the majority of builds for it is going to be modest. Let me pull up the exact stats. Why am I blinking? Ludicolo. So Ludicolo. 27% of builds on Picolytics are modest. 8% of build is modest. 8% is modest. 6% is modest. 4% is modest. They'll all be modest, like 9 out of 10 times. So when we choose to be adamant, the only thing that's going to outspeed us is not Modest Ludicolo. Like, that's different from our nature pick. So there's no point in picking Jolly. That's my opinion. You might see a Ludicolo that's timid, like 1 out of 10, 1 out of 15 games. But that's not what you prep for. You prep for the majority. So we're picking adamant so we can do more damage and not waste our nature. You know what I'm saying? And then above that, we have Excadrill under Sand Rush at 280. We have a good matchup against Excadrill, but it does outspeed us, which is annoying. Barraskewda at 376. We also have a neutral matchup. It doesn't have anything that we can... Wait, does Barraskewda get Power Whip? I think it does. If so, then we're Barra screwed. It doesn't get Power Whip. We're good. Alright, we're fine. I was thinking it got Power Whip for some reason. I'm glad it doesn't. Gyarados gets Power Whip, but like we outspeed Gyarados, it's fine. So yeah, Barraskewda is fine. Like, we're not too worried about that. And then Hawlucha at the top is worrisome. Like I was saying, it has access to high jump kick, being max knuckle. If they weakness policy proc it with like the Sylveon technique, or the Sylveon little gimmick, then they're gonna knock us out, and it's, you know, it sucks. But that's just a bad matchup. And then things that we do outspeed, we outspeed Scarf Hydreigon, which is pretty solid. It doesn't have any like super effective moves. I think it has access to like Focus Blast, or something like that, and maybe Thunderbolt, but like we're not too worried. We outspeed it, which is good. We probably don't have any moves that just like outright kill it. Maybe our fighting type move, maybe like Superpower outright kills it. I'm not sure. Galarian Darmanitan Scarf, we outspeed that, and then Scarfed Form Change Rotom, we outspeed that as well. All of those can be problems. Galarian Darmanitan has a good move pool, like it could definitely do a lot of damage to us, and then Rotom as well. All of them have the electric spread in the form of Thunderbolt or Volt Switch or something. That would be pretty annoying. Scarved, and then also Rotom C, or Rotom M, rotom-mow. I'm not sure which one it is typically referred to as, but that will be a problem because grass is quad effective. Anyway, that's it for our damage, or for our speed tiers. Onto our damage calcs. We have a lot of good damage calcs here. Notice how they're all Dynamaxed. I mean, you'll typically Dynamax this Pokemon. If not, sorry for the bad damage calcs for you. However, I think a lot of the time you're going to Dynamax it, and a lot of the time opposing Dynamaxes will be the main threat, especially if you're Dynamaxed, obviously, because double health. Anyway, onto some of our damage calcs. My chest is hurting. Ludicolo has... So this is Ludicolo Life Orb, max invested. This is Modest Nature, what you'll typically see. Max Overgrowth does 203 to 240%. Don't even try. You're going to die to it. Even if we had Rindo Berry, if it's Life Orb, max invested, Modest Nature, it still kills us. Sorry to say, but that's going to happen. There's nothing we can do about that. It's just killing us. So be careful of that Pokemon. However, like I said, we do outspeed it, but we don't have any spread that just outright kills it. So yeah, you'll lose that matchup. Another matchup we most likely will lose if it's the weakness policy build is Hawlucha. +2, max invested, adamant nature, max knuckle. Into us has a 62.5 chance to OHKO. You can live this. However, it's not something I would challenge. I wouldn't attempt to live that. You know, it's not going to happen most of the time. It's going to usually kill you. And that's only if Sylveon quick attacks into it or something like that. Self-brocking weakness policy and then setting off Unburden. That's the only way that it'll happen. However, if it's Psychic Seed with like Indeedee, you can live it. It won't be able to kill you if you Dynamax. If you don't Dynamax, it still has a chance of killing you, which is like annoying, but it's a thing. Excuse me. So then we have Drednaw, Life Orb Dynamaxed into Dynamaxed Excadrill, max attack invested, or max attack, adamant nature, attack, or Life Orb, max geyser, kills it. It does 176 to 207% of its damage, Dynamaxed. If it has Focus Sash, it lives, but it doesn't have anything that immediately threatens us. It's spread. I mean, it has, you know, like Iron Head, which will do a lot of damage. Like Max Steel Spike will do a lot of damage, but it shouldn't kill us. Next we have Gyarados Dynamaxed. This is just fast nature, so this is Jolly nature with no attack boosting item, so it's not Life Orb or anything. This is like a Berry build or a Assault Vest build or something. It has max overgrowth into us, kills us 102 to 121%. We're both Dynamaxed. If we had Rindo, we would live this, but without Rindo, we die to it. Guaranteed 102 to 121%. So yeah, that's annoying. Returning. So we will outspeed. So our attack will go first. So if it's Intimidate Gyarados, we only do 70 to 82% with Rockfall. But if it's not Intimidate, so we don't go -1. So if it's the what's the other build? Or what's the Moxie? So if it's Moxie Gyarados, we will knock it out with max Rockfall, which is pretty good. But they're typically Intimidate. I just like headbutted my mic. They're typically Intimidate, so we'll probably not be able to win that matchup usually, unless you have another Pokemon that's faster than Gyarados and able to take out that extra 30 to 20% damage. Then you could do it theoretically. For our last damage calc, we have 0 special attack. This is 0 invested. This is dumb because it's usually going to be invested. So let me 252. So the real one should be 91 to 108%. It's a 40% chance to OHKO. So like I said, we're safe, but we're not safe. It has a 40% chance to OHKO with the correct stat investment. So that's my bad. Where's the little thing on the keyboard? Oh, there. Why is it all the way up there? That's dumb. Actually, 40-ish%. That was really dumb. Anyway, yeah, so it's actually like a 40-ish% chance of OHKOing us, which is pretty annoying since Whimsicott is just like not supposed to just kill you. That's like a thing. You're not supposed to just die to Whimsicott. It sucks that we just die to Whimsicott sometimes. Alright. Anyway, that's it for our damage calcs. Now we have single spotlight at the very end. We'll be doing this for every single guide from here on out, just because so many people play singles. And it was pretty ignorant of me to not do this before, because it's so simple and it just adds like a minute or two to my thing, especially when it's like this. So our build is actually almost identical to our doubles build, just because this Pokemon doesn't really change, like in my opinion, from doubles to singles. All that really changes is Protect. You don't want Protect in singles. Nobody plays Protect in singles. It's not good. But you can use, well, like it's good on some things, but you can use Swords Dance instead, so that when you get this Pokemon in a good position, they have to switch out, you get a free attack boost. That's really, really relevant. Or you could use that spot to play Stealth Rocks, because this Pokemon gets Stealth Rocks. So you could use Stealth Rocks instead, and you can also Gigantamax this Pokemon, and its Gigantamax attack sets Stealth Rocks. So like, that's another option. Those are all options. You can play this Pokemon any of those ways. But all of the paired Pokemon are pretty much the same. It's Pelipper and Ferrothorn, Gyarados and Dracovish. And then Ludicolo is scary. Other grass Pokemon are scary. Rotom-cut, rotom-mow is scary. All these Pokemon are like pretty scary. But yeah, overall, we're very similar. We're Swift Swim, Life Orb. We're playing on a rain team, so that the Swift Swim gets really good mileage. Life Orb, you could still play Rindo if you wanted to. We have the moves, Liquidation, Rock Slide, Superpower, and then we're playing Swords Dance instead. You could play Stealth Rock if you wanted to. It's up to you. It's really if you value that. But we also have Ferrothorn on our team, most likely to set traps as well, to set hazards. So you can opt to do that as well. Either way, you can do it. You also have the other moves. You know, you can switch out High Horsepower or Earthquake for a Superpower, or Poison Jab if you want that grass coverage, stuff like that. As far as our spread goes, it's the same. This is the exact same as the doubles build. 252 max invested into attack and speed, and then attack also is Adamant Nature, so we get plus on attack, and that's it. That's it for this Pokemon. Pretty simple. Anyway, that's gonna be it for our video today. Drednaw is pretty sweet. It's really good on a rain team, gets really fast, gets really strong. This Pokemon is actually really sweet. You should definitely consider it next time for your next rain team. I just keep looking at my head. My forehead is like halved. It's like 2.5 and 2.5 because I have a 5 head. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead and like and subscribe. It means so much to me. We're at like 530. We're growing. I wanna get to 1 billion or 10 billion or like 6. I'll settle for like 5 billion. But anyway, thank you so much for watching and have a good rest of the day. I hope you had a good Super Bowl. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I don't watch sports, but I hope you watched it if you wanted to watch it. Anyway, I'm done rambling. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.